Hello and welcome back to NightOwlNarratives. Today we're going deep into a topic that's as fascinating as it is disturbing: cults. We've all heard the word. Maybe it brings to mind robes, chanting, or tragic news stories, but cults are more than just religious oddities or Hollywood thrillers. They're real, complex, and dangerously manipulative communities that still exist today. In this video, we'll explore what cults are, how they work, why people join them, and the psychological traps that makes them so hard to leave. We'll also hear from survivors, experts, and documented cases that shed light on the inner workings of these groups. Let's get into it. Section 1. What is a cult? The word cult often stirs up images of radical religious sects or fringe movements, but defining a cult isn't always simple. While mainstream religions are socially accepted belief systems, cults are generally seen as deviant, exploitive, and controlling. According to sociologists and psychologists, a cult is a group typically led by a charismatic leader who exercises excessive control over members' lives, often using manipulation, isolation, and indoctrination to maintain power. Dr. Yanya Lalich, a cult expert and former cult member herself, describes cults as authoritarian control systems where every aspect of life is regulated, from beliefs to relationships to finances. Cults can be religious, political, commercial, or even self-help oriented. What sets them apart isn't their belief system per se, but their structure of control, their methods of recruitment, and their treatment of dissent. Wikipedia further clarifies that cults often form around a central ideology or person, with groupthink and devotion replacing individual critical thinking. Section 2. Core characteristics of a cult. Most researchers agree that cults follow identifiable patterns. Stephen Hassan, a former cult member and leading exit counselor, developed the BITE model, which describes how cults control members: behavior, information, thoughts, and emotions. Let's break this down. Behavior control. Cults often dictate how members dress, eat, sleep, work, and who they associate with. Some even control sexual activity or demand celibacy or enforced relationships. Information control. Cults restrict access to outside news, media, literature, or critical sources. Members are discouraged from questioning leadership or seeking external information. They may be told that the world is corrupt, or that outside voices are satanic, evil, or ignorant. Thought control. Cults teach a singular worldview. Dissenting opinions or critical thoughts are labeled as sinful, negative, or disloyal. Members are taught to use thought-stopping techniques like repeating mantras or avoiding bad thoughts to suppress doubt. Emotional control, perhaps the most insidious of all. Cults use guilt, fear, and shame to manipulate members. They may instill phobias about leaving, threaten spiritual death, or claim that exiting will harm one's family or lead to eternal damnation. According to Dr. Lalich, these control mechanisms are not accidental. They're systematically enforced to maintain dependency, submission, and loyalty. Section 3. Why people join cults. It's easy to assume cult members are naive, weak-minded, or desperate, but this is a harmful myth. In reality, anyone can be vulnerable under the right conditions. People often join cults during periods of transition, loss, or personal crisis. They're looking for community, purpose, or answers to life's hardest questions. Cults promise certainty, structure, and a sense of belonging in a chaotic world. Cults use love bombing, lavishing newcomers with attention, praise, and acceptance to create strong emotional bonds. New members often feel they've found a new family. The group appears nurturing, hopeful, and idealistic at first. In the documentary Cults Explained, survivors explain how groups like NXIVM or the People's Temple appeal to idealism and ambition. People didn't walk in looking to be controlled. They were drawn in by promises of self-improvement, justice, or enlightenment. But over time, what started as support turns into manipulation. The boundaries of the self are gradually eroded, loyalty is praised, and questioning is punished. Section 4. Types of cults and case examples. Cults come in many forms. Here are 4 major types. Religious cults. These often revolve around the spiritual salvation and divine leaders. Examples include Heaven's Gate, believed in alien salvation, 39 members committed mass suicide. The People's Temple, led by Jim Jones, ended in the Jonestown massacre, over 900 deaths. Doomsday cults. Groups that predict the end of the world. Members are told to prepare for apocalypse, often isolating from society. These groups can become radical and dangerous. Sex cults. Groups like NXIVM under Keith Raniere, disguised as a self-help organization but actually coerced members into sexual slavery, branding, and blackmail. Former member Sarah Edmondson revealed shocking internal practices, including forced starvation and manipulation, under the guise of personal development. Political or ideological cults. They don't always look like traditional cults. Some are extreme political groups, conspiracies, or online movements, like QAnon, which Dr. Lalich describes as a modern digital cult. It relies on fear, disinformation, and loyalty to an unseen leader, fulfilling the same psychological dynamics. These examples show that the form a cult takes can vary, but the tactics used, control, fear, isolation, are often chillingly similar. Section 5. Life inside and escaping a cult. Life inside a cult can be suffocating, yet survivors often say they didn't realize they were in one until it was too late. Daily life is often rigidly structured. Members might wake at dawn, attend endless group meetings, participate in rituals, or undergo public confessions. Personal freedoms are sacrificed for the greater good. Contact with family is limited. Sleep and food might be restricted to weaken resistance. Leaving a cult is incredibly difficult, not just logistically, but psychologically. Members are conditioned to fear the outside world. They're told leaving means betraying the group, dooming themselves spiritually, or even dying. Ex-members frequently describe identity confusion, guilt, and isolation after leaving. Margaret Singer, a clinical psychologist who studied cult behavior, said many survivors suffer from PTSD, depression, and anxiety. They may need years of therapy to rebuild their sense of self. Despite this, thousands have left and spoken out, reclaiming their voices and exposing the systems that once held them captive. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the world of cults. We've seen how they function, why people join them, and how they manipulate members using fear, control, and false hope. If this video helped you understand cults better, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might find it helpful. Have you or someone you know experienced a group that fits these patterns? Let us know in the comments, respectfully and supportively. If you want to learn more about specific cults, recovery resources, or expert interviews, check the video description below. Remember, question boldly, think critically, and protect your freedom of mind. See you in the next video.